Hook. The question everyone keeps asking. There's a question that never goes away. It shows up in different forms, different words, different conversations, but at its core, it's always the same. What's the secret to success? What's the one thing I should do? What's the one decision that changes everything? People want that one moment, that one breakthrough, that one perfect move, the investment that explodes, the idea that goes viral, the opportunity that changes their life overnight. And it's easy to understand why, because it's exciting, it gives hope, it makes success feel close, simple, achievable. But here's the truth most people don't want to hear. There's no single moment, there's no one decision, there's no shortcut waiting for you. And once you accept that, everything changes. The reality most people ignore, the biggest difference between successful people and everyone else, is not intelligence, it's not talent, it's not even luck. It's what they do every single day. That's it. Success is not an event, it's a process, a quiet, repetitive, often boring process that compounds over time. And that's the problem, because most people don't want boring, they want exciting, they want fast, they want results now. But real success doesn't work like that. It's built slowly, piece by piece, day by day. The invisible force, compounding. There is a force in your life that is more powerful than talent, more powerful than intelligence, more powerful than luck. And yet, most people completely ignore it. That force is compounding. You've heard of compound interest, money growing over time, but compounding applies to everything. Your habits, your knowledge, your skills, your mindset. Every small action you take stacks on top of the last one. And at first, it feels like nothing is happening. You read today, nothing changes. You work on yourself, no visible result. You improve slightly, no big difference. It feels slow. It feels frustrating. It feels pointless. And that's exactly why most people quit. The 1% rule. Let's make this simple. If you improve just 1% every day, after 1 year, you won't be a slightly better, you won't be twice as good, you will be nearly 37 times better. Think about that. 37 times, that's not improvement, that's transformation. And it didn't come from one big decision. It came from a small, consistent actions, repeated daily. The snowball analogy. Imagine you're standing at the top of a hill. You have a tiny snowball in your hands. You push it forward. It starts rolling slowly, very slowly. At first, it barely grows. It doesn't feel impressive. It doesn't feel powerful. You might even think, this isn't working, but you keep going. You keep pushing. And as it rolls, it starts picking up more snow. It gets bigger, heavier, stronger. It starts moving faster and faster until eventually it becomes unstoppable. That the snowball is your life. Every habit you build, every skill you learn, every hour you invest is adding a snow. The 3 habits that build your future. So instead of chasing shortcuts, instead of waiting for the perfect moment, focus on what actually works. 3 simple habits, 3 daily actions that will shape your future. They are not complicated, they are not flashy, but they are powerful. And if you commit to them, they will change your life forever. Habit 1. Read like your life depends on it. The first habit is simple, read, but not casually, not occasionally, not when you feel like it. Read consistently, read intentionally, read to understand. The modern distraction trap. Today, most people don't read, they scroll, they skim. They consume short bursts of content, quick videos, quick opinions, quick entertainment, and it feels productive, but it's not, because you're not building knowledge. You're just consuming noise. Why reading is power. Reading is different. Reading forces you to slow down, to think, to understand, to connect ideas. It builds depth, and depth is what gives you an advantage, because while others are reacting, you're understanding, building a mental advantage. Every time you read, you're building a mental framework, a structure of knowledge. And the more you build, the easier it becomes to learn new things, because everything connects. You start to see patterns. You start to recognize opportunities. You start to think differently. The truth about risk. People think risk means losing money, but that's not true. Risk is not knowing what you're doing. When you don't understand something, you are guessing, and guessing leads to mistakes. But when you read, when you learn, when you understand deeply, your decisions improve, your confidence grows, your risk decreases. How to start? Simple system. You don't need 10 hours a day. You don't need to read Who.
Everyone is looking for the same thing, the one secret, the one move, the one decision. That changes everything. People ask it in different ways. What's the best investment? What's the fastest way to get rich? What's the one thing successful people do differently? They're all chasing the same idea. A shortcut, a moment of genius, a lucky break, a single decision that flips their entire life overnight. But here's the truth. That moment doesn't exist. There is no single stock that will make you rich. No single decision that will fix your life. No magical shortcut waiting to be discovered. And that truth disappoints most people because it's not exciting. It's not glamorous. It doesn't feel like a breakthrough, but it is real. Success is not built in a moment. It is built in what you do. Every single day. We've been taught the wrong story about success. We believe success comes from intelligence. We believe it comes from talent. We believe it comes from luck. But look around carefully. There are brilliant people who struggle. There are talented people who never succeed. There are lucky people who lose everything they gain. So if it's not intelligence, if it's not talent, if it's not luck, what is it? The answer is simple. Habits, not the big decisions, not the rare opportunities, but the small, consistent actions you repeat every day. Because your life is not shaped by what you do once. It is shaped by what you do daily. The most powerful force you're ignoring. There is a force in your life that is quiet, invisible, and incredibly powerful. Most people ignore it. Some people misunderstand it. Very few people truly use it. That force is called compounding. You've probably heard of it in money. Compound interest. But compounding is not just about money. It applies to everything. Your habits, your knowledge, your skills, your mindset, everything compounds. At first, it feels like nothing is happening. You read for a day, nothing changes. You practice a skill, no big result. You make small improvements, no visible difference. It feels slow, it feels boring, it feels pointless. And that's exactly why most people quit. But what they don't understand is that compounding doesn't show results immediately. It works silently, in the background, building, stacking, growing, until one day, everything changes. The 1% rule that changes everything. Let's make this simple. If you improve just 1% every day, after 1 year, you might think you'd be 365% better. But that's not how compounding works. The reality is you become nearly 37 times better. Not twice as good, not 10 times better, 37 times better. That's not improvement, that's transformation. And it doesn't come from one big moment. It comes from small daily actions, repeated consistently. The snowball effect. Imagine you are standing at the top of a long hill. In your hands, you have a tiny snowball. At first, it's small. It barely feels like anything. You push it forward. It starts rolling. Slowly. Very slowly. At first, it feels like nothing is happening. You might even think it's pointless. But as it rolls, it begins to grow. It picks up more snow. It becomes bigger, heavier, stronger. It starts moving faster and faster and faster until eventually it becomes unstoppable. That snowball is your life. Every habit you build, every skill you learn, every hour you invest is adding snow to your future. The truth most people avoid. The most powerful things in life are not exciting. They are not dramatic. They are not instant. They are slow. They are quiet. They are consistent. And that's exactly why most people ignore them. Because they don't give you immediate rewards. They don't give you instant gratification. They don't feel like progress. But they are. And if you can learn to trust that process, your life will change. 3 habits that change everything. So today, instead of chasing shortcuts, instead of looking for quick wins, you're going to learn 3 simple habits, 3 daily actions that can completely transform your life over time. They are not complicated. They are not secret, but they are powerful. And if you commit to them, they will change everything. Habit 1. Feed your mind. Read daily. The first habit is simple. Read, but not the way most people think. This is not about reading for entertainment. This is not about casually scrolling headlines. This is about feeding your mind with useful information. Because what you consume mentally shapes how you think. And how you think shapes your entire life. The problem with modern consumption. Today, most people don't read to learn. They consume to react. They scroll through social media. They watch short videos. They absorb opinions without understanding anything deeply. They are constantly distracted.